Hello and welcome to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are your hosts, Chris and Philly, co-founders of a multi-award-winning functional medicine practice, serving busy people with energy, mood, and gut issues.
While busyness, addictive doing, people-pleasing, and perfectionism might be the norm, it's not normal, and it's a major contributor to health issues.
Our goal with this show is to give you a holistic root cause approach to healing your body so that you don't have to continue doctor or diet hopping or popping a gazillion supplements hoping something might stick.
So get ready to heal your body, get your spark back, deeply connect with yourself, and step into the life of your dreams.
Let's dive in.
Hello, welcome to the podcast. Today, I'm actually repurposing an Instagram live that I had with the wonderful Melissa Marsden about a month or so ago on her Instagram profile. It was linked into ours as well. But we caught up to have a conversation around the retreat that she is putting on in October, so just in a few weeks, and also to talk about her experience inside our Ending Body Burnout Method and like essentially how we're both now helping others heal from body burnout in different ways. So Melissa is a past client of ours. She worked through our Ending Body Burnout Method in such a beautiful, robust, wholehearted way. She got great results. She is transformed and she is a new person, as you will hear her talk about today in today's episode. She did share her journey through the Ending Body Burnout Method back in March this year. So if you scroll back to episode 102, if you want to listen to her whole healing story and everything, all the steps that she went through to heal from chronic gut issues, bloating, constipation, weight gain, anxiety, pushing through people-pleasing patterns, that's a great episode to listen back to. In today's conversation, she does touch on her journey that she went on inside the Ending Body Burnout Method, and I talk a bit about the program and how we help people end their body burnout. But we also talk about her beautiful retreat that she's putting on in October. So I think it's like a couple of weeks away, 2 or 3 weeks away by the time that this podcast episode is published. I should have got the exact dates, but they'll definitely be in the show notes. If you scroll down, I'll pop the dates there for her retreat. So Melissa is a business coach. She is a workplace strategist, an author, and a podcaster, and she really helps to guide corporate and government teams and business owners design workplaces that align with their values and enhance human potential. So she's been doing that for many, 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 many years. And more recently, especially born from her own healing and transformation journey, she's really blending in all the business strategy that she is very good at and really helping women entrepreneurs to build businesses that reflect their values and their lifestyle without burning out. So she blends in strategy with heart and innovation, and intuition with ambition, and helping them to really become in alignment with self. And her retreat Exhale is designed for women in business to come along and get clear with where they're going in their business, what they value, and get into alignment on that side. But the retreat also blends in beautiful holistic modalities like sound healing and breath work and yoga and nutritious adrenal diet approved food to really create a beautiful space for transformation in the woman's life in both business and in herself. Now, I am actually attending Mel's retreat because I just loved sharing her healing journey, and I loved witnessing her transformation. And I knew that this retreat that she's putting on is an overflow of all the healing that she has done. And she is someone that just has so much grace and so much class and is super good at what she does. So if you would like to join me on the Exhale retreat, please come along. It will be great. I'm going as a participant, so I'm actually going to get loved up by Mel and the other facilitators at the retreat, which I'm so excited about. And if this resonates with you, check out Mel's retreat. It's going to be awesome. All right, let's dive in.
Your intuition in business can be really, really difficult, but it is even harder when your body is not functioning optimally. And I know this personally because I have been through my own experience of body burnout and what it did to my system. It made me have huge amounts of brain fog. I had gut issues, and all of this started to make it really difficult for me to trust my own instinct and my own intuition. Now, to help us decipher all of this, I have asked the beautiful Philly from Chris and Philly to join me tonight because she was the wonderful magician that helped me get my body back on track so that I could start tuning back into my own body, and how that then was helping me make decisions in my business, because trusting your intuition is a huge part of actually getting through business in one piece and making the decisions that are actually aligned with what you want. Because when you do not know how to trust yourself, you can't back yourself. You can't stay the course. You're constantly then outsourcing and asking other people's opinions and asking for them to tell you what the next step is. Now, nobody else can tell you what it is that you need to be doing in your business. Only you can. So the best way to do that is to learn how to reconnect with yourself and tune back in to your intuition. Now, I'm going to get Philly to come in and join us. She's just sitting here. So Philly, do you want to just jump on in and come and join us here? And we're going to have a bit of a chat and talk about some of the things. Now, Philly is also one of our guests to join us at the retreat, and I want to have a chat with her about why she decided to come and join us. And I also want to chat about all the wonderful work that she does and how she personally helped me recover from my own body burnout. So welcome, Philly. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Thank you. I'm very excited.
Yeah, so good to have you here. Thank you. But why don't you first give us a little bit of an overview of what it is that you do? I've given people a little bit of an overview about how you help me, but you're going to be the best person to explain what it is that you do.
Yeah, awesome. So I am a functional medicine practitioner, coach, trauma therapist, and I'm very passionate about ending body burnout in busy people with energy, mood, and gut issues. So we work with our clients holistically to not just do lab testing on their body systems, which is a really important piece of the healing journey, but also looking at why. So why did the body systems burn out in the first place? What patterns are you running? What beliefs do you have hidden in the unconscious mind? What baggage from the past do you need to let go so you can release the patterns and so that your body can heal?
Yeah, pretty good summary. And I ticked a lot of those boxes off in my journey with you guys and have got back to this thriving position now. So I'm so very, very grateful for everything that you guys have done to help me. So thank you. Because I think, and we don't, I have a theory. We get to our 40s and all of a sudden our body is just screaming at us because we've been consistently ignoring it, or we've been quieting it down, or we're suppressing it in other ways, or we're masking it with other things. And I think that then it all kind of bubbles up to the surface and it's like, okay, now you actually have to address all of this stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And it does happen around the late 30, 40 and beyond mark if you haven't listened.
Yeah.
Because it's exhausting running burnout patterns. It's kind of like at some point you just physically, emotionally, spiritually can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And what I really loved about working through the program with you guys was that, yes, you help with the supplements and you kind of look at all of the physical symptoms, which are great, but then you take us on a bit of a deeper journey. And, when I came in and did the program with you guys, you and I had this conversation, I've done all the purpose work, I've done all the values work, but the bit that I hadn't done was the belief structures. And when I actually unpicked that, some of the things that I found were quite surprising. And that was then what actually helped me me to get to this point where I am now is because those beliefs were the reason that I was ending up in burnout. Like, I'd kind of realigned my life. I did that sort of 10 years ago, did the purpose and values piece, gone, right, I know who I am, I know what I stand for, I know all these things. But I had carried all of this other baggage around these belief systems that were making me do these things and make these choices that were actually driving me into the ground. And so having the ability to kind of step back and look at all that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it's huge because it's all hidden. You said surprising, so I'm assuming there were some hidden things. It's like, what? I can't believe that that's there. But it's hidden in the unconscious mind. But essentially the unconscious mind is what is controlling every thought, feeling, behavioural pattern that you have, so you can whack on some strategies around like how you're living, which is really important to get clear on that. But if the baggage down below hasn't been resolved, let go of, then you're just living from a place of fear and from a place of danger, essentially, where it's not safe to succeed.
Yeah. And I think that was one of the things that I found and I was really surprised about was like this sense of safety. I actually found that really difficult to kind of comprehend. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not safe? And it's that deep-seated inner body, nervous system lack of safety. And it's because we're constantly looking for threats. And if we're living in that state of fear, that email's a threat and that call from the client's a threat. And for me, one of the things was I'm a big people pleaser. I'm a recovering people pleaser, I should say. And that meant that every time someone was asking me for something, I had to say yes, because no was this scary, fearful thing and I couldn't actually articulate that. So I was always then, going towards the yes because it was safer for my system. That's what I felt. And so that was the constant burnout pattern. And because I kept saying yes, I was just overextending myself all the time and I was taking on more than I could handle. And I was saying yes to things that I didn't want to be doing and weren't aligning with where I wanted to go and weren't lining me up. And that was a big part of the kind of the tunnel that I went down.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember if you remember. I'm sure you remember. But when we were trying to really access safety inside your system, it's like go to a memory and you're like, I don't know. I can't think of a time I've really felt safe.
Yeah.
Now you do.
I've got lots of them now. But yeah, it was really, because it's a difficult thing to kind of get your head around if you haven't thought about that before. And I think the other thing that I have experienced myself was that, you talk about trauma, and I went through the TRTP trauma therapy with you as well. And between that and the ability to do some other sort of alternate modalities of healing, what I did was I unlocked all of this expansive spaciousness within my system. And the so many conversations that you and I had throughout the time that I worked with you was that I didn't understand how I could continue to run my business, how I could continue to show up with my family, how I could actually have all the things that I wanted without quitting my job or, going and living under a rock or off grid somewhere and, not having these pressures and external stresses all the time. And when I went through all of that trauma repatterning and dealt with these belief systems and experienced some of these alternative modalities of healing, it's like I unlocked all of this internal spaciousness that I had been looking for. There's nothing that happened or changed on the outside. I didn't quit my business. It's still running. We made some tweaks and changes, but we didn't certainly burn it to the ground. It's still operating at the same capacity.
Still productive.
Still got my kids. I'm still making money. Like, it's still doing all the things, but it doesn't feel heavy anymore. I feel like I have all this additional capacity to be able to service all the things that I need to in my life because I created that. Now, I'm curious to know how many other of your clients kind of experience similar things?
Oh, so many. Like the model that you're talking about is flow. So you're in a pattern of like old Mel was in the pattern of force where it's like, well, I just got to do the things to make the money and make sure the kids are fed and like, support my husband and blah, 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 blah. It's like, what even is flow? And it's a really foreign concept for so many people who have been running those doing patterns as a form of protection, like essentially. And so even the thought of how could I like flow is the spaciousness that you're talking about. It's like you feel safe to be you. It's safe to succeed. You're regulated. Yes, you're still a human being, so stresses happen and you can get dysregulated, but, you know, you have the tools to be able to just bring a sense of safety back to self because you know who you are at the deepest level. And so flow is you're still doing what you want to do in order to achieve your goals, but you're being at the same time. And you're having pleasure and you're having fun and you're being playful. That's like the magic secret source of flow. And so many people, like if I think about our clients, most of them have come into the program running those overdoing patterns, people pleasing, perfectionism, all or nothing thinking. And they've been forcing their way, whether it's forcing their way to try and heal or forcing their business or forcing their like family or whatever it is, just forcing life. And yeah, it's coming from a deep fear of self. So when you resolve that, that's where you're able to get into flow.
Yeah. And it's such a more empowered state as well. I think that's the other thing that I really can reflect on is that I have this newfound ability to do so many things that, you know, I found really difficult before, like to be able to say no or to feel and experience that pleasure state and to be able to make decisions in my business, because it got to a point where, because my nervous system was so dysregulated, I wasn't being the person that I wanted to be. I was so out of alignment with the type of person I wanted to be, the type of things that I was trying to do, that, you know, that meant I wasn't showing up in the best possible capacity that I wanted to be. And all of those things really impacted so much around my business and my relationships. And it meant that I never then had the confidence in my own decision making. And so I started outsourcing it. I was asking all these people, what do you think? How should I do this? You know, and I just didn't trust my own instincts. But once I cleared all that noise away and I could get back in alignment and I could really tune in with, you know, why am I doing this? What am I trying to achieve here? What do I feel is right? What do I feel is wrong? That's when things started to shift again. And I started to take back all of this power, because I could go, no, this is how I want to do this. And this is what I expect. And this is how this needs to happen. And no, I'm not interested in that. And yes, absolutely, I'm all in on that one. And so I think that was this aligning of my nervous system to re-regulate it, to then be able to feel like I was in that compassionate and empathetic zone, but be able to really hold those boundaries really quite firmly.
Yeah. You said it perfectly. I love it. It just tick. It's like, I don't need external validation anymore.
No, that's exactly it. I was constantly seeking external validation. And, you know, as a business owner and, you know, a high-performing person, I was out there trying to win the awards and do all these things because I wanted the gold star and I wanted the pat on the back from the client and I wanted my team to love me. And, you know, I wanted everyone to tell me how great I was doing, because I wasn't giving that to myself. And, you know, that's always still nice, that stuff, but I don't need it anymore. Like I can give that to myself now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And then it opens up the channels to your intuition, is what you were talking about, where it's like, I know when to say yes and when to say no. And decision making is a big one where people can get stuck as well, where if you don't trust yourself, if you don't even know how to connect to yourself, it's like decisions are so hard to make. So you end up outsourcing it. I see that in like some business groups that I'm in. Now I'm sure there's a bunch of people that have done work, but there's a lot of people where it's like every single little decision they have to make, you know, they're putting it in the Facebook group and then they're like confused by all the comments and they're like, I don't know what to do anymore. Yeah. So you definitely become a powerful woman when you connect to your intuition.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's the thing that's really helped me. And, you know, now I'm teaching nervous system regulation in the work that I do, and I'm supporting clients through this. So like I've really become the model student, which I'm absolutely loving all of this, because it's something that I see absolutely needs to be talked about. And you just nailed it then. You know, the fact that there are so many women who are out there running their businesses, but are outsourcing all of that decision making. And it's because they don't either have the clarity that they need in their business, they don't have that sense of alignment, they don't know where they're going, or they just purely have no sense of trust or instinct around what's right and wrong for them. And that's really sad, because it means that they're never going to be really fulfilled in their business. They're constantly going to be doing something that someone else told them they should be doing rather than actually what they want to be doing. And that's not going to lead to a very fulfilling business. It might be ticking all the boxes, it might be making all the money, it might be growing, it might be doing all that stuff, but you're still going to feel dead inside because that business just doesn't light you up. And what's the point if it doesn't? Like, those are the things that makes me really sad. And that's exactly why, I've created Exhale, because this retreat was the retreat that I was looking for. There wasn't a space that supported me. Like, I have done lots of different business groups like you, and a lot of them are very male dominated. And so therefore the type of experiences that we had were very different. They're not very much in their feminine. They're not very much in that flow state. They certainly weren't in that wellness space. But I also didn't want to go and spend, a weekend purely just doing wellness type activities either. I wanted to be able to blend the two together. I wanted to be able to make this weekend feel purposeful, but at two different levels. One, for my nervous system regulation, and so that's why we've got the breath work and the sound healing and the meditation and the yoga and the really deep women's wellness conversations that we're going to be having. But we've also then got a beautiful community of ambitious business women who are driven, but they need those tools to help regulate their nervous system, to, manage that stress level, but then to also have those conversations with other women who get it, and to share what's working for them and where they're challenged, and to get really clear so that when they leave this retreat, they are laser focused on what it is that they want, that whole sense of alignment, there's next steps that they're going to be taking, and they have a set of tools now that they can step back out into the world with. And having had all of these experiences, they've unlocked all this capacity, because these modalities are, what helped me is they shifted all of this stagnant stuckness that was sitting in my body and helped open up and create all this capacity. So that's kind of why I created this retreat.
I'm getting goosebumps.
I'm so glad you're coming.
Can we do it now?
Yeah, no, let's go this weekend.
No, I'm so excited. Part of our program, and you would know, there's a section called Desired State, which is like, get clear on what you want. That's all the values and stuff that you were talking about. And there's a module on Dream Outcome, which I'm always like adding to and editing and amending depending on the goals that I have. But one goal I had was, it wasn't even a goal, it was just a desire of, I feel like I want more retreats in my life. And because previous to that, I was going to a lot of kind of like business conferences, and they were great, but I left kind of feeling like very like sucked dry. Yeah. In a way.
They're uplifting, but they're exhausting at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy contained in that.
Yeah, exactly. So like inspired from like a logical, rational mind idea point of view, but I just felt, just tired. I was kind of tired, and the setup for those two, it's usually like you're sitting at a table for multiple days and you're not moving your body and you're not having that like spaciousness to even like integrate the ideas that you're receiving or thinking about. So that was happening, and then I'm like, okay, like I have this desire to have more retreats in my life, but I didn't know what that looked like. And then I think the next day I got an email from you about yours, which I knew that you put it on, but it was almost just like, this is the universe talking to me. So I just said yes immediately.
And I'm so glad that you did. And look, and I love that reflection that you've had, because I know exactly what you mean. You go and you sit in these windowless rooms for 2-3 days at a time. You're getting absolutely pummeled with ideas, and there's just no space to kind of, integrate it, as you said. And you've probably got dinners and all these other things that are kind of, top and tailing it. Whereas
usually like unhealthy food too. So you're feeling kind of like blocked up.
Yeah. Really heavy. There's lots of surgeries and things, but and so and that's it. And I wanted to create something that would kind of give people a little peek into some of these alternative modalities. So, I'm assuming that a lot of the women that are going to be coming to this retreat, given the audience that I have and the people that I connect to, are probably not going to have done breath work before. They may not have had an experience with sound healing. They've probably done yoga. They may have done a little bit of meditation. And look, to be honest, 12 months ago, if you asked me to sit down and meditate for 2 minutes, I laughed at you and I couldn't do it. I could not do it. No, now I've done my meditation practitioner training. I do guided meditations. I try and meditate at least 4 to 5 times a week. It's become such an inherent part of my own healing journey now. And I just wanted to give women who potentially haven't had access to these things just a tiny little taste and say, this is what's on offer here. This is what it can do for you. Look at the difference it's going to make into your business, because I know for myself, having been this really stressed out, highly strung, burnt out woman trying to run this business, that I need more tools to help support my nervous system. And when you can stay in that regulated state and increase that window of tolerance, so no longer getting into that fight or flight or down into that freeze zone, but really expand that middle section, you have so much more capacity to hold more, to be able to manage more, to be able to do more without actually feeling like you're doing more, like without feeling stretched.
Crazy, isn't it? You don't know it until you feel it.
You don't. You don't. And to try and explain it to somebody, I know you and I had these conversations, like trying to get someone to understand that, because I laughed at you. I'm like, if that's not going to happen. Like, I need to go and, live off grid with my chickens.
You can still be successful and be regulated.
Yes. And so that's exactly what I want from this retreat. But I also wanted to create that space where women could come back and actually remember why they started their business in the first place, what it was that they actually wanted to succeed in, and how they wanted to run it. What's the life that they want to have, and how does the business actually then enable that? Because I think we get to this point where we start living our lives in alignment with what our business needs from us rather than the other way around. And that's not why we started our businesses in the first place. We started business because we wanted freedom and all these other magical things that you'll get to a point. But you can most definitely influence those things so much more. And I mean, I know you're another business owner, you run your business here, you've had to sculpt and create your business to suit your lifestyle, and that doesn't happen. You've got to take time to think about those things, and spaces like this will definitely support that.
And even once you've created it, like if there's anyone who's listening to this or watching back the replay and they're like, oh, actually, like I have done those, like the practices you were talking about, and they've created a business the way that they want. Like what's important to me about coming to your retreat is it's not a once and done.
No.
Like it's like I think about this, my relationship with myself is an overflow of, will be an overflow of everything that I touch. So my family, also my business. If I stop having a relationship with myself, then all of that starts fizzling and cracking and dying, like literally just starts dying and becoming messy and chaotic. So there's so much value as well in terms of just like coming into a space that, maybe not even from a place of desperation, but just a space is like putting the plug back in. This is for me.
Yeah.
Like I get to this whole weekend is for me. And I get to connect back to myself and have more space than what I currently do in my everyday life of working in and on the business and with my family, to have those communication pathways open.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm really excited about like the breath work, not from a place so much from a place of regulation and the sound healing and everything you said, but that they can get into the unconscious mind in a way that just having a conversation doesn't.
Yeah.
And so anything that you need to know that will guide you, creativity comes from the unconscious mind too. So it's just like, I know that when I'm there, magic's going to happen.
Yes. And it's interesting you say that, because you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, you teach people how to get out of body burnout. You're not coming into this because you're body burned out. You're coming because you know the magic that's going to happen from recharging your system and putting yourself in a space that's going to support you to do these things. And the creativity, I think that's the other bit, is I think that as women, we are highly creative beings. Like, we create things all the time. Like, we grow babies. Like, that's us creating things. And just to remember how powerful we are in what we can actually do, and reconnecting yourself with that so that you then have that clarity of vision. But also, like you said, like, we are carrying so much all the time. This is one weekend for you to step away, to leave all that noise behind, and just focus back in on you and get really clear about what it is that you want from your business. Because the ideas that come from being in that sense of spaciousness are incredible. And like, I know this from the retreats that I have been on, and you know, they were very masculine retreats, lots of doing things, but just the sparking of ideas from conversations. And the other women that are going to be at this retreat are all high performance, high powered, ambitious business women who are also out there running their businesses. You're going to have just the best conversations with these women around the campfire and having a coffee. No, actually, let me realize that. You are not having coffee. Look, I've said I was like, people didn't have coffee at the retreat. However, it will be available, because I know one of our other guests is like, I can't live without it.
It's like, I'm going to come with a headache and vomiting.
Like, she'd be smuggling it in a thermos. So, look, we're just going to let her have it. But if you so feel desire to let the coffee go, I think that would be a great idea. So you'll be having your herbal tea, but it's about those connections, about those conversations. What's working for them? Where are they struggling? Where can you support each other? But then having so much space, because this retreat is going to be held in the beautiful Tweed Valley. It's completely immersed in nature. And this is the other reason that I have chosen this particular location.
Feeling it already. I've never been there, but I'm feeling like this will be a bit weird and woo-woo. It's almost like I've got these tentacles coming out of my heart and I'm there already.
I love that. Hey, Tracy, nice to join us. So I have, through my own, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Through my meditation practitioner training, a big part of that was getting back and connected back to nature. A lot of it was about earth-based wisdom and spending time in nature. And as someone who grew up in the country, you know, in the bush, I have always had this real affinity with it. But I think for me at a young age, I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. I moved to Brisbane. Like, I disconnected. And it's only been in the last sort of maybe 5 years that I've really found that affinity back to nature and the bush. And I did a 24-hour solo camping trip as part of my initiation, part of my meditation training. And it was one of the most magical moments. And it actually led me on this journey to getting an invitation to go and stay at Tweed Valley, which is where we are having our retreat. And that is what then inspired this whole kind of, series of events. And that's why we're having this retreat there, because this is one pristine, untouched parcel of land backs onto a nature reserve that you cannot access. It has free-flowing creeks and rock pools for you to be able to swim in. It has a presence. And for you to say that you can kind of feel it, when you stand on this land, it has a vibrational energy. You can feel it. It is just magic, and it's so healing. And so we have plenty of time in the schedule to be able to go and swim in the rock pools if you feel the need. Like, think ice baths. All right. But just to sit and take in the sounds and watch the water flow over the rocks and the trees move, and just know that very, very few other people have ever been on this land. And just the magic of that, and the space to be able to think and reconnect back in with the seasons and the cycles of nature, and remember your place in that. and what that gives, and that whole idea and that concept of, we can't be in summer and blooming all the time. We need those fallow winter periods to be able to rejuvenate the land and rejuvenate ourselves so that we can then come back and bloom in springtime. So think about this as your moment to step back, your moment to kind of recuperate and rejuvenate yourself so that you can then step back and re-enter after the retreat and feel rejuvenated and ready to go, because these are the magic that you're going to be able to experience. So I'm so glad that you're kind of feeling that. It's going to be magic.
So good.
So good. So look, there's a few people that are on here. Has anybody got any questions that you want to ask me or ask Philly about the retreat, about her programs and body burnout? Pop them in the comments. I'd love to answer any of those. But, Philly has an incredible business, and the way that she supports so many people through body burnout, not just women, but men as well. And their program has, as I said, completely transformed my own health experience and has been a big driver in inspiring me to create this particular treat. And so I'm incredibly privileged to have Philly come along and, as being a student and, participate in her body burnout program, to now be leading her on a retreat. Like, that's pretty special that you've empowered that to me. So thank you. I'm excited too. And that was a pretty special moment for me to see that you had booked through this retreat. I'm like, but I was the one that was broken and burned out, and now you're coming to my retreat, which is really, really cool.
Well, I think that was part of it too. Like, it wasn't just the universe aligned and it's like, I want more retreats in my life. Oh, got an email from Mel. Ding. But it was also just experiencing you not just heal, but embody everything. So I knew that I didn't even know many of the details really, but I knew that whatever you were going to put on is going to be amazing. And also you just got so much class and style. So I'm like, it's going to be beautiful. I trust you.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel very honoured that you trust me with that. And look, you're right. Like, I embraced so many things, and it was actually one of your comments that you made is like, I took on so many different modalities all at once and kind of just blended them and made them my own and figured out what was working for me, and then it kind of created this retreat and a mirror image of that to then enable other women to experience it, because some of the modalities and things that I have been part of are a little bit woo-woo, and not everybody in my world is going to resonate with woo-woo. So I had to then figure out, well, where do I fit in this? Like, I'm still sitting in corporate world pretty firmly, and I like this woo-woo side of things, but not everyone's going to resonate with that. So I found my place as this bridge to try and help people kind of experience some of this stuff without it feeling like it's all a bit too much and, it's all a bit too over the top. So good night, Tracy. And I know you're a big woo-woo lover, so thank you. And Nick, I would love you to come and join this. It would be one amazing experience. If you have any questions about the retreat, I'm happy to answer those. But yeah, it's just going to be one beautiful experience, and I'm so honoured that you're going to be coming and joining us, Philly. It's going to be magic.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Now, Philly, you have also got the doors opening to your Ending Body Burnout program coming up. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? So if anyone is kind of going, oh, the retreat sounds wonderful, but I really need to go and speak to this Philly lady because she's got to have me sorted.
We'll do both.
Yeah.
We'll do both. So our program, Ending Body Burnout Method, is a 6-month holistic root cause healing transformation program. And it's really designed for those people who are busy, burnt out, running those perfectionism, people-pleasing, overdoing type patterns, and now their body is screaming at them. So we work on the physical body, so the physical healing, but also deeper metaphysical healing. So we only open doors 3 times a year. So it is very exciting when we do open, and the doors are opening on 24th of September. So we've got also, as part of our launch week, we have a beautiful Rewire Your Brain to Heal Body Burnout coaching week that people can drop into so that they can experience the type of healing modalities that we use. And also, I've just had so many people who have never joined the program, but they get so much value out of the free event where they've had like little mini transformations, shifts that have led to healing and health, which is just so beautiful. So if you jump onto our website, or actually we'll be connected on Instagram. I think when you publish this, it will show up on both of our feeds. So yes, you won't miss it if you jump onto our Instagram profile. There's a lot of like information about the Ending Body Burnout program and Rewire Your Brain.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I can vouch firsthand. It's an incredible program, and it takes it just so much further than that sort of surface level physical healing, which is an important part of it, because until you kind of have the support in your system from supplements and other things like that Philly, has all across, you then need to do that deeper healing work. But that's kind of like, that's just the topical stuff. It's like putting a Band-Aid over it. You then kind of need to actually sort of heal the root wound. So incredible program. And it's made, as you can see, a massive difference in my life.
She's glowing.
One of the ladies that's on here said I'm glowing.
You are.
Which, it's helped a lot. And so, and then the retreat is happening in October, 23rd to the 26th. It's happening in the beautiful Tweed Valley, which is in northern New South Wales. It's only about half an hour from the Gold Coast airport. So if you're flying interstate, which Philly is, because Philly's coming from beautiful Tasmania to experience this. And then it's going to be 3 incredible days. As we've said, we've got yoga each morning. We haven't even spoken about the food. The food is
the best.
The food is going to be incredible, because as Philly said, when you go to conferences, the food can be really heavy and really, just doesn't sit well with your body.
Yeah.
All of our food is going to be incredibly nourishing. It's all organic. We have the best retreat chefs in Claude and John coming to cater for us. It's a fully adrenal supported diet. And now I know what an adrenal diet is now, because Philly taught me, but this is all about supporting your body's natural system to function at its optimum level without adding any extra load that your liver and your other bodily systems then need to actually process. Hence the reason I highly recommend removing the coffee, which I still have not had coffee. I am still on decaf.
Nice.
So it has made a massive difference to my ability to actually process all of those natural toxins and things that are in your body. So all of the food is gluten-free, dairy-free, and I can tell you it is incredible. You will absolutely love it. And our retreat chefs are also in the process of creating a cookbook, so you'll be able to take home some of those amazing recipes as well. So we're going to have that. We've got breath work. We have those really deep women's wellness conversations, because I think so many of us, again, aren't living in alignment with our cycles, don't understand the fact that we, need time to rest, how we can work with our energy, when is our best time of the month to be able to really do this activity and this activity and this activity, and really starting to tune into those things, because when you're riding that wave, rather than trying to push against it, it works so much better. And I know, Philly, you'll agree with me 100% on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
So good.
So good. Oh, well, I feel like we could keep talking for hours, but is there anything else that you want to leave anybody with tonight before we wrap up?
No, I don't think so. I think we've covered so many things, and I'm so excited about the retreat. I think anyone who has been listening or listens back to the replay, it's really hard not to feel the excitement and the energy of it. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. And as I said, it's not just about wellness, it's also about getting clarity in your business, because as business owners, we need that, but you can't get that clarity if you haven't got the wellbeing.
Yeah. This was something, I don't know if I read this somewhere recently. It was something around holidays. So people... this is it. So the holiday is great when you're there, and, this could be like for a retreat, but the anticipation leading up to it is actually what makes the holiday, apparently. So don't book in at the last minute. Do it now, and then you can just have this feel-good feelings, and you'll be able to feel the Tweed Valley like I am in my heart. It's like it's there.
Yes, and it's that anticipation, and that's it. It's like having something to look forward to. You know that that's held in your diary, and that is just time for you. And on the flip side of that, the other thing that I've been thinking about is there's so many wonderful people going to Euro Summer at the moment, and it's like that might be great, but all those challenges that you're going to have in your business are still going to be there when you get back.
Yeah.
This is not a holiday. This is going to be a strategic pause for your business to be able to leap forward by creating that space and that clarity to be able to move your business forward. So if you're going to Italy or, Euro Summer, this is still something that you should be highly considering because it is a business asset, not a nice little holiday. Although I'd love to go to Europe as well, but just consider both of them.
Yeah, I like that. I saw the post that you put up. Maybe it was last week around. It was like, you could go to Italy, ... And I'm like, yeah, I'd like to go to Italy. And then I swiped and I'm like, oh yeah, right. All the stuff will still be
not more.
Which, to tell you the truth, I recently went to Bali, which was amazing, and it was so good that we didn't want to come home. And sometimes, like at the end of a holiday when you got your children there and it's like bit like chaotic and crazy, you're just desperate to come home. But it was a really nice pause. But it's different, like the experience of going on a retreat where you're sorting out stuff that is out of alignment now or that isn't working for you. So when you come back, not only do you feel refreshed and recharged and you've had a great time, but you've also like shifted mountains in your business and in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not just going to come back to the same old thing.
Yeah.
You've cleared it out. You've decided, I'm no longer doing that, or we're going to start doing this, or this is working really well. I'm going to double down on that. And you've got the energy and the clarity and that internal spaciousness that we spoke about to be able to do that. And that internal spaciousness only comes from clearing the clutter. And that comes from somatic work. Getting into the body. It's, as you said before, it's not achieved by speaking. It's actually achieved by moving and tuning in and transferring that and releasing. And that happens in those breath works and the yoga and the sound healing. That's where we're going to tap into that and create that spaciousness. So
yeah.
Exciting.
Oh, good. And just like hire a cleaner the day before you come home so you don't come home and it's just like the family is like pigsty my house.
Yes, you don't want the kids to have trashed the house and the husband to have left it. Very good point. There we go. I'll put that into the I'll add that into the retreat notes when people are booking.
I'm just thinking about it because I've upgraded. We got a robot vacuum cleaner, not very, it was in May for my birthday, but it was a cheap one, which was good, but I couldn't send it to the room. So sometimes it would just like completely miss rooms. So anyway, I've recently upgraded to like a good one. It's my best friend. I love it so much.
I need one of those things. That's what I should ask for my birthday. So
yes,
awesome.
Good investment.
Fabulous. Oh, look, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Philly. As I said, everyone jump in and have a look at the links. You will find them there. We'd love to welcome you into the retreat and into Ending Body Burnout. I know that whichever way you go or you do both, you'll have the best experience. So thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you at the retreat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Billy. Bye.
See ya.
Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. If you'd like to give us extra smiles, drop us a review and spread the love by sharing this episode.
You can also rate your own state of burnout and the root cause contributors by taking our Ending Body Burnout assessment on our website. And if you're interested in learning about our group or one-on-one Ending Body Burnout programs, shoot us a DM via Instagram or Facebook.
Have the best day ever.